Hey everybody, Dave here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our playthrough of the Swamps of Death. Hopefully last episode I didn't do too terrible on things. I know there's a lot of stuff going on and trying to manage a lot with one person with multiple characters and not having an extra set of eyes, especially with this game, can be a little bit challenging. Plus, I actually have stuff set up on multiple tables trying to manage stuff. So I have all my characters off on one side, and I have their character informations on one table, and then I have our stuff that's going on here. Anyways, as you saw in the last episode, we were able to finally defeat the Serpent Men from the Bloodbane tribe, and we were able to take care of that eruption of hungry dead that came out of the ground. Although our heroes did not come out unscathed, and they have some wounds on them. The one who's worse for wear in terms of physical wounds is Branson, our cowboy. He currently has 7 wounds with a 14 health, so he's already halfway down on his damage. And then we have Ezra has taken 7 sanity damage, so half of his sanity's already been gone, and Juma has 4 wounds currently right now. However, they do have some really great side bag items with that swamp fungus, which is very, very powerful in healing. So we'll have to see if they're going to use that. Anyways, let's get back to our action. And the first thing that we're going to need to do at the start of the round is roll to hold back the darkness. The last time we had a darkness event, it caused the darkness track to go further. So we are still needing to roll at an 8+, and we rolled a 9, so we were able to successfully hold back the darkness. Now, on our turn, we have to determine, do we want to go back and explore areas at which we came, or do we wish to go through this gate and continue on into another area of the swamps? And I think we're going to go ahead and peek through this gate, and I'll be able to get the rules right this time on how we handle things. So the first thing that we're going to do is activate Juma. And Juma is going to roll for her movement, and she rolls a 6. And she's going to go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yet she is not going to peek through the opening quite yet. She's going to scavenge this area. Okay, so let's bring this over, and we're going to roll 3 dice looking for 6s. Hopefully we can get some 6s. And we have 1 6. So we have successfully scavenged this area. We'll place a scavenge token on the board, on this tile. And we will grab the scavenge deck, and we're going to shuffle it up, and we will see what we find. All right, so hopefully we'll have something that's not bad. All right, so nothing here. So the room appears to have nothing of value, nothing to find, but 10 XP. So that is, Juma gets 10, so she's up to 230. All right, next we will activate Branson, the cowboy. He is going to roll a 3 for his movement. He's going to go 1, 2, 3 onto the map tile. And he is going to scavenge as well. So we'll go ahead and roll 3 dice. And he is unsuccessful in scavenging. And finally, we will... Ezra is going to activate, and we will roll for his movement. And he rolled a 1, so he will recover a grit. But he's going to spend it to have additional movement. And he's going to be able to roll an additional 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to get right up next to Juma. And so now the other thing, the lantern token that was back here, that is now no longer protected by the light, and he is going to scavenge this room as well. So he's not going to peek through quite yet. So we're rolling 4 dice for him. He gets to roll 1 extra scavenge die, and he has 1 6, so we have 1 successful scavenge there. So place a scavenge token, and we will shuffle up the scavenge deck and see what we find. A small find. You find a small scattering of coins stained with blood, so it equals 25 gold, and he gets 10 XP. So the XP for him, he goes to 240. Now, because of his ability, the Expert Miner, whenever the hero collects gold or darkstone from a loot, scavenge, or encounter card, double the amount collected. So he's actually going to get 50 gold. So that's good. So a small find became a little bit of a nicer find for Ezra. Okay. So the next thing that we have is we will now have to roll to hold back the darkness, as we have activated all of our characters. Nothing has been going on. So we are going to need to roll an 8+, and we rolled a 6. Unfortunately now, again, looking at our darkness track, we zoom in up here, we move down to this 10, and so we will have another darkness card that is going to come into play. Alright, let's see what we find from the darkness. We had that one already, put that back by mistake. Alright, we have Cave In. With a thunderous crack, the ceiling begins to fall in. Each hero must pass an agility 6+ test or take d6 hits that do 2 wounds each from falling debris. Alright, so let's start with, we'll start with Juma. She's the first one. And I have to look and see if she has any additional things that have to do with agility. And let's see. Once per turn, when you pass a skill test, you may heal. Okay, that's cool. She's got +1. She's at this heritage charm, so hopefully she can pass this test. So she's doing agility 6+. Now her agility, she has a 4, so we're rolling 4 dice, looking for 6s on here. Well, we can at least need 1. And unfortunately, she does not. And so, let's see how many hits. D6 hits that take 2 wounds each from the falling debris. Oh, does she have a grit? She does not have a grit to reroll it. That is 5 hits that do 2 wounds each from the falling debris. Well, she could still try to defend against those wounds, but she's got 10 wounds. So let's see. We're going to get some dice here, and we're going to roll and see how many. You can only roll a certain number of dice per thing. So let's see. What did I say? No, she's got 5. So we're going to roll against 5 of these things to see. Let's see how many. Let's see. She needs to roll 4+. And she only has 1 successful one. So she's taking 8 wounds. And unfortunately, that is going to knock her out. So she is now, she's now KO'd. So that's going to be bad. She is knocked out from the cave-in on the ceiling. So she is not there. So that's going to be bad for her. Next, we will go with Branson. So we're looking for agility on him. He has an agility of 2. So we're looking for 6s. He has no grit to re-roll. And unfortunately, he is going to take how many wounds? So 2 wounds. So he's going to have to roll 4+ on those. And so he's going to take 4 wounds So that, oh man, really, really bad event here. So he has 11 wounds. That is bad. Bad, 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 bad. And finally for Ezra, his agility, he is a 1. And I don't think there's anything, he doesn't have anything else that's going to help him at all on this. So, unfortunately, he's going to have to roll a 6 one time. He rolls a 4. He's taking how many wounds? He's taking 1. All right, so he gets to defend against, he needs to roll a 4+, and he rolls a 5. So, fortunately, Ezra came out unscathed from that darkness event. However, we realize now that Juma has been knocked out. All right, so we're going to have to, hopefully she's going to be able to recover. At the end of this turn, we'll get her to, we'll revive her. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and activate Branson, and we're going to roll for his movement, see what happens. We're not quite ready to go through this gate yet. He's going to roll a 2 for movement. So he's going to get over close to Juma, and he's going to go ahead and scavenge the room. We'll go ahead and roll 3 dice. Maybe we'll get fortunate enough and be able to scavenge. We need 6s. All right, so he's got 2. He was able to successfully scavenge, and he gets to roll 2 scavenge items. So that's good. Hopefully it will be something that will help us, because we just had, unfortunately, our party member has been knocked out, and so we're going to see what happens to her permanently afterward. What happens? Oh boy, hideous discovery. Picking around in the shadows, you see something that chills you to the bone. You quickly return to the group, refusing to speak of what you found. Take 3 horror hits that do 2 sanity damage each. Okay, so Branson is needing to actually, well, let's. All right, so the first thing that we need to do, 3 horror hits. He has a 4+ on the willpower. So let's see, take 3 horror hits. All right, so we're going to defend against those. We need to roll 4+ on these. All right, so he successfully defends against 1. The other 2 are going in. He's taking 4 sanity hits. So we'll put a 5 out there and take 1 back. So he's got 5 sanity damage. He has a little bit of whiskey that he could possibly use. We'll see. All right. And then the next thing that happens after he scavenges, this goes back in the deck. We shuffle it back up. Nothing here. So 10 XP there, and he had 10 XP from the other one. So he's got a total of 20 XP for Branson. That puts him up to 290. Okay. All right, and finally now we will activate Ezra, and he's going to roll for his movement, and he rolls a 6, which is going to stay there. But what he's going to do is use his whiskey, and if we look and see what the whiskey is you can discard to heal D6 sanity. He's already taken quite a number of sanity hits. So let's see. We will discard the whiskey, besides that his bag is full. So whiskey token, bye-bye. We will heal 3 sanity. So 3 sanity coming off. All right. So we'll take this 5 and we put 2 back. All right. Very good. Now, he's not going to move. However, he will scavenge this room, hopefully finding something. And because of his ability, actually I think do we scavenge too many times? I think we may have scavenged too many times. All right, well, he's not going to do anything. Except for he's going to peek through. He's going to peek through the door, because at the end of this turn, she's going to be revived. He's not going to be able to scavenge. So what he will find on the other side is a murky clearing. So let me find this tile, we'll get this set up. Okay, looking through the gate, we have another gate. Here is our murky clearing as we look as to how it comes in. And we will place an exploration token on there. Now, we will not actually reveal that exploration token until somebody actually sets foot in there. So that was something that I had made a mistake on in the past. So that is going to take care of him. Now, the end of the turn, now, we are going to revive Juma. So the rules say at the end of any turn when there are no enemies anywhere on the board, there are not, a KO hero may recover. That hero places their model back on the board, removing the KO'd hero marker and pushing any model that was in their space to an adjacent space. Well, nobody moved into her space as she was lying there. So let me grab her model and we'll put her back on the board. So we'll take this marker off, place her there. Next thing we do is we will roll once on the injury chart if their health is reduced to 0. So let me see if I have where the injury chart is. Let me get that out so we can take a look at that. All right, so here's the injury chart. It says, when you recover from being KO'd with 0 health, heal 2d6 wounds, sanity, any mix, and roll once on the injury chart to see the long-lasting effects. If you get an injury that you currently already have, use the result above it on the chart, the lower number. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is see how many wounds how much health we're gonna recover. So she basically heals 4 wounds. So that puts her at, she now has 7 wounds on her instead of 11. So she healed 4 down. And let's see what her injury is. So we're rolling 2d6 on the injury chart. She has a 4. So this is going to leave her the mangled hand. One of your hands is twisted and broken. It's hard to even hold anything in it. You have 1 less hand for equipping items each turn. Double-handed weapons may still be used, but they cannot get critical hits. Well, unfortunately, that's going to be very bad for her because of this Jargono bow. Unfortunately, she's not going to be able to do critical hits. It's going to be hard for her now to be able to kill things, so she may not be using that. She may end up having to use her Darkstone Blade and Darkstone Club, but unfortunately, a mangled hand is bad for her. So, unfortunately, Juma has sustained something that is not good for her, so I'm going to write this down. She has a mangled hand. Wow, that is not good at all. All right, so we've taken care of that. Now let's roll to hold back the darkness. And we needed to roll an 8+. We rolled a 9. We were successful in holding that back. Okay, so we have a token here. The beginning of activation, let's roll for Juva's movement. She's a 4. She's going to use a swamp fungus, and we're going to discard this to heal. Actually, I think... Wow. She doesn't really have any sanity damage at this point, but she has a tonic that she could discard to recover a grit. Maybe we'll do that. We'll discard a tonic to recover a grit. And she's going to move through this gate. She's going to step through here. She's going to come over this way. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And she will go ahead and attempt to scavenge the area looking for something. Unfortunately, we're going to see how bad this is going to be at the end of the turn. Hopefully it's nothing horrible, but 3 dice. Looking for 6s. Unfortunately, she's not able to scavenge the room. Next, roll Branson for movement. He rolls a 2. 1, 2. He's over in the other world. And He will attempt to scavenge as well. Looking for a 6 and unsuccessful in that. And finally, we'll roll for movement for Ezra. He rolls a 6. He's going to hustle through the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and getting up next to Juma. The light from the lantern is no longer illuminating that area, so that goes away. What can he do? What can he do? What can he do? Boy, he's still okay. He's going to attempt to scavenge. So we will roll 1 extra die. Looking for 6s. And he rolled 1 6, so successfully scavenged the room. We will place a scavenge token on the board, and he will grab from the scavenge deck. See what happens here. Okay. Chilling Dread. What you find in the shadows only confirms the doom that awaits you all. Draw a Growing Dread card and add it to the stack. Okay, so Growing Dread card onto the stack next to the depth track. And he gets 10 XP. That puts him at 250. Trying to think of who peeked through the doorway. I think Juma peeked through. She got 5 XP for that. So 235. All right. So finally now, at the end of the turn, we're going to flip over this exploration token and see what we find. It is an attack. And the nice thing is here that we have found the second clue token. So according to our objective, if we look at the objective, let's see what happens, because this is going to be the this could be the end. Well, this is going to be the ending of our adventure, but let's see. It says, when the heroes find the second clue icon in the Swamps of Jargono, they have reached the objective for exploring this other world. Ignore any attacks or encounters listed on the final exploration token. Also ignore any door or gate icons on the token, as the objective room has no exit. Reveal all Growing Dread cards in the stack as normal, and then the heroes must face an epic threat. Okay, so we're going to have to take care of an epic threat, and we also have to resolve these Growing Dread cards. So we have to start with these. And unfortunately, to be able to cancel a Growing Dread, all of the players would collectively have to discard 1 grit, and at this point, Branson doesn't have any, so it's going to be bad news here. So the first Growing Dread card we have states, Wave of Heat. You loosen your collar and unbutton your shirt as a powerful wave of heat rolls over you from ahead, draining your energy and causing a sweat. All heroes must discard 1 grit. Well, basically, Juma and Ezra each had 1 grit, so now we're discarding those. So they have no grit. So now we are completely at the mercy of the stack. So the next one states, Powerful Dread. It takes all of your willpower to not simply turn and flee at the sight before you. Every hero must make a single willpower save. For each failed save, move the darkness 2 steps forward on the depth track. Okay, so we'll start off. This is, oh boy. This could spell the end of our. This could spell the end of our heroes. Let's see. We'll start off with Juma. Willpower save. Needs to make a 4+. She rolled a 4, so that's good. Branson needs to make a 4+ save. He rolls a 3. That's a failed one, so 2 steps forward. That's going to give us another Growing Dread card. Is going to end up going on the stack, according to the depth track. So if we look up here where we're at, there is a green circle underneath here. Oh, actually, we would pass by Growing Dread before that. So, that's bad. All right. And let's see what happens next. Okay, now we have to roll for Ezra. has to make a willpower save of 5+. And he rolled a 5, so we are fortunate in that one. Okay. Okay. All right. 2 more Growing Dread cards. Comes another one. Dripping Gore. The passage ahead drips with gore, and the floor is slick with the blood of those who dared come before. All heroes are -1 initiative during the first turn of the next fight. Okay. And finally, the last Growing Dread. Dread. You shudder to think of what lay before you. Move the darkness 1 step forward on the depth track. Great. So when we do that, now we have a darkness card that is going to take place. Alrighty, let's see what the darkness card says now. We have Eruption of the Dead. Great. An ambush attack with more hungry dead. So let's roll the peril die and see what happens. We have 4 and 3. 7 hungry dead, and they are going to ambush. So we will get the models on the board. Okay. I'm going to have to determine who is going to be targeted. So I need to find my random character tokens so we can get these models placed. Alright, so move these out of the way. And it's wonderful because we're in initiative and they're plus initiative and we've got all this other stuff that's going on. And so the first model going on the board is going to be targeting, whoops, the cowboy. So place 1 there, like that. The next one is going to be targeting the prospector. So come around like that. On the back, actually we'll put this on the back side of him. There. And finally the third one is going to be the Jargono native. So we'll place 1 here, like that. So placing that model. The next one, we'll have to shuffle these all up again. See who's going to be targeting who. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. We'll shuffle them around and we'll move these around here some more too. Alright. This one here. The prospector has one coming in this way. And cowboy has this one over here, like that. Juma has this one coming around here, like that. So they're being surrounded. And finally the last model, because we have 7 of them, coming in and we'll be targeting who? Let's see. Targeting Juma. Great. So right there. Okay. All right. Well, let's call this a session right here. Again, I'm going to leave you guys with a cliffhanger. We have this Eruption of the Dead coming up from the ground, overtaking our posse of heroes. What's going to happen? We're going to have to tune in next time and see what happens. We're getting close to the end of the adventure, so hopefully not too many more bad things are going to happen. But just as a reminder, we have this Chill of the Grave is still in play, so all undead enemies are now +1 initiative and +1 combat. So they will have an initiative of 2. +2 will be 4 for their initiative. However, Juma has +2 initiative in the first round, so she's going to spring into action beforehand, but she has that mangled hand. So anyways, we'll tune in, guys, next time to see what happens. Oh, we are on -1 initiative during the first round, so that's going to have a further effect as well. But anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying this, and tune in next time, and we will kind of see what happens with this next Eruption of the Dead.